All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Romantic and Starshaped. This game taking place here on Concealed Hill. Romantic spawning as the blue human player on the bottom left-hand side of the map, opening up with an Archmage. Meanwhile, Starshaped opening up with a Tavern Hero. On the top right-hand side of the map, there's that Altar of Elders being completed now. Ancient of War engaging against all of these units. And what will the hero be? Will it be a cheeky hero like the Fire Lord or something else? Nope, a Beastmaster, a classic Night Elf hero from days gone by. All right, a bear in that front line spot, being able to come in and deal medium damage or normal damage against that medium armor to try and clear things up quickly. But with the Beastmaster earlier on, well, you are not able to harass nearly as much later, as there is no easy way to entangle or anything like that. Down to the south, Archmage quickly clearing things up. Gonna finish off this giant sea turtle creep camp. 4/2/2 creep camp will give the Archmage level 2, picking that Brilliance aura, as that Archmage is always in ever need of mana. Night Elf versus Human here on Concealed Hill. Beastmaster looking to get in some extra creeping in, able to summon up that second bear, as the first bear is still absorbing quite a bit of damage. Tome of Strength being picked up, as well as the Beastmaster already at 750 hit points with some decent damage at level 2. Coming back around, Hunter's Hall is getting completed here, and we could be going straight into Huntresses before seeing a tech to tier 2 as well. This is rather aggressive, as the Beastmaster now comes down to the south. He wanted to try and put pressure on an expansion that just was not there. Coming back around, the Archmage may actually be getting very close, or getting closer to level 3, trying to pick up a potion of greater healing and finishing off the remainder of this forest or rock golem forest troll creep camp. I believe Archmage will be able to get to level 3 here, and with that, level 2 water elementals will be in play to try and deal with perhaps the Huntresses that are now being trained up. Down to the south here, bears are getting summoned inside the base here, trying to finish things off. One bear still looking to do a little bit of damage, as the Beastmaster looking to back away. Beastmaster, or the bear, is able to engage against some of those militia, cause a little bit of problems, as Romantic is sitting on 14 workers and also teching to tier 2 as well. Quill Beast now trying to dive on in, trying to take down some of these units. There goes one unit there. Another unit could easily get taken down. No, it doesn't look like it. No, Huntress is now coming in from the other side. Constant pressure by Starshaped, as we're looking at perhaps a couple of these peasants about to get taken down. There goes another as well. Beastmaster, however, only sitting at level 2, going up against a level 3 Archmage with those level 2 water elementals, but a handful of workers have been taken down, so we could be perhaps a bit lumber locked or short on wood for Romantic as he finishes his tech to tier 2, losing a little bit of peasants while also militia clearing. He is now behind on lumber, should not be able to build the arcane sanctums, the blacksmiths, and everything else he is looking for, without perhaps trying to prioritize one hero, or at least one form of tech versus another. Archmage clearing things up here. Forest Troll High Priest will get taken down. Level 4 will be much more difficult to get to. Meanwhile, the Beastmaster now trying to go after a Rock Golem creep camp. Ancient of War already in position, ready to absorb quite a bit of damage as more archers are making their way over. Tech to tier 2 has begun. It is a bit later, as Huntresses are just trying to cause problems. There's a quick Shadow Meld right there. Footman down to 6 hit points, could be down to dead. Yes, gets taken down by the creeps. All right, Rock Golem gonna get finished off here. Beastmaster gets up to level 3, picks up a potion of greater mana, and now there is the Raging Bear, who is able to get in some, bashes and be able, or I guess, is that a maul? Being able to stun those targets. Beastmaster sitting at level 3 has a decent amount of mana, 270 with a potion of greater mana to use freely. Coming back to the other side here, we're looking at the Archmage, still wandering around by his lonesome self, as a Blood Mage will be the second follow-up hero. Arcane Sanctum as well. We are looking at rifle casters, most likely some priests, to try and offer in a bit of support, as the Archmage is now making its way back down to the south here. All right, Tree of Life nearly done teching the tier 2. Are we going to be getting in a couple of surrounds onto any of those units? No, we are not. Water Elemental could have a bad day as well. Still continuing to try to fix or take down more of these Water Elementals and other units. Siphon Mana able to shut down the Beastmaster for a little bit, but now in comes a Naga Sea Witch able to hire up from that Tavern Hero and perhaps not allow an escape on these footmen or one or more of these footmen. Engagement still happening back around the Blood Mage, looking like it wants to siphon more mana from some additional targets, give more mana to the Archmage, and drop in some more Water Elementals. Two Archers, perhaps getting caught at just the wrong time here. One or two more shots should able to easily finish them off. All right, Archer finally getting taken down here. Meanwhile, this Archer getting, caught as a rabbit tries to cross the road. And, anytime experience walks up to you, might as well just enjoy it and take it, as only 2 or 3 more shots needed, or 3 or 4 more shots needed to take down this Archer. Archer, no armor to be had, as the Naga Sea Witch and Beastmaster now try to retreat back off to the north. Easy Wisp going to go ahead and get taken down there. Archmage ready for this engagement. Ancient Protector trying to protect this location. Huntresses are all in location here, as we see a Quill Beast quickly being summoned down. All right, Blood Mage pretty much low on mana. Could try and siphon mana away from that Naga Sea Witch as well and try to give it back to the Archmage, as we're seeing more summons coming back through. All right, Starshaped being forced to use the Moonwells to get mana instead of just heal his units and force a counter push back the other way. All right, more siphon mana into that Archmage. Archmage able to perhaps summon an additional Water Elemental or 2 when the time comes, as the Blood Mage is currently low on mana again, having his eyes set on that Beastmaster or that Naga Sea Witch. 47 supply compared to 39, both sides running off of one base. Slight tech advantage for Romantic, but we are now looking at Starshaped going into tier 3. Archmage, Blood Mage trying to push in the center location here, as we are looking at the Raging Bears while trying to get into position. We see those slow arrows causing problems onto some of those units, as Siphon Mana getting close enough to that Naga Sea Witch. Those Raging Bears unable to get a bash onto any of those riflemen, as the riflemen are able to retreat back here. Footman still trying to engage. Blood Mage should be still trying to get some more mana away from the Beastmaster. Does exactly that, continuing to put pressure here, but there is a lot of low hit point units across both sides. 47 supply compared to 44, as the Bears continuing to try to fight their way through. Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 1, trying to finish off a handful of units, but it's just so difficult to get to, as we finally see one of those riflemen getting taken down. Naga Sea Witch down to the south here, still sitting at level 1, and no easy way to get back together. 48 supply compared to 46, as the Beastmaster may be able to finish things off once more. All right, Rejuvenation on the Beastmaster from a Druid of the Claw, but Adept training is only completed, not even starting the Mastery training as of yet. Starshaped quickly finishing off one of his own Huntresses to deny that experience. Beastmaster sitting at level 3, Naga Sea Witch sitting at level 1 and nearly level 2. Meanwhile, wow, a big shockwave going through Romantic's army. That is actually a bit scary. Another accidental shockwave could really put some units into the red here, as a footman. Luckily he was ensnared and not taking any additional damage. Blood Mage, Endurance Aura, going to be sticking around, as the Blood Mage probably going to be going into Flame Strike next. All right, Flame Strike as that follow-up ability. Low hit point footmen's trying to retreat back. We see a couple of ensnares go down here, as low hit point footmen should be able to finish off this last Forest Troll Trapper. All right, low hit point footmen, enough priest to try and heal back up. Scroll of Regeneration may be in order. Naga Sea Witch and Beastmaster level 4, level 2, as the Druids of the Claw are still sitting at level 1 or Adept training, about to get their bear form here in just a moment. All right, Beastmaster getting purged there. We're going to perhaps summon in some additional units. There is some more Rejuvenation and then transformation into Bears. The Bears suddenly having great damage, but no upgrades on any of the Bears or any of the units of Starshaped as of yet. Coming back around, Rifleman, Archmage, Water Elementals going after this Fountain of Health creep camp. The Red Drake could easily get taken down. Ogre Magi absorbing quite a bit of damage as well. Blood Mage should have been trying to siphon mana away from that Forest Troll High Priest, as that was healing, but now in comes a potential creep jack. Bears trying to dive on in, a big Flame Strike across many of those frontline units, as a Fork Lightning tries to push back the other way. All right, one Rifleman does get taken down. 47 supply compared to 52. Dispel Magic, as that Summon Bear easily going to get taken down, as another Flame Strike hits through many of those targets. Archer down to 4 hit points, able to stay alive somehow, barely, as the Huntresses continuing to fight their way through. Nagasi, which gets up to level 3, now currently low on mana, may be forced to try and retreat back, as the Militia now ganging up against the Bears too. Bears do have a decent amount of mana or hit points because of that rejuvenation, but that's quickly dispelled. Bears continuing to fight back and forth. 44 supply compared to 48. The Militia adding in a little bit of additional damage as Starshaped decides to back away. That low hit point Bear able to escape at 89 hit points. And, oh, they said hi. Coming back to finish live spectators. Yes, live studio nerf Iris. Coming back around, Archmage, Blood Mage coming back in here, trying to clean up everything else. The Blood Mage getting up to level 3 could spell some problems for those Bears, as the Bears are relatively slow units, and in a Sorceress is slow, they may end up taking far more damage. Units are trying to retreat back here, as we're looking at the Beastmaster and the Naga Sea Witch, and continuing to, well, perhaps try and regroup. We're looking at 57 supply compared to 53. Starshaped should be training up some more units. His army seems to be a little bit scattered at this point, but a decent number of Bears was at 4 Bears, and then where that is the Raging Bear, I thought that was the Spirit Bear, almost being able to blink and get behind enemy lines, causing problems for that back line there. Are Twitch ads revenues better than YouTube ad revenue? I actually don't know what the CPM is on Twitch ad revenues. I would assume so, just because it's live. Like, I mean, if someone got a million views on Twitch, or had a million viewers on Twitch, it feels like they're earning more money than a million views on YouTube. Not that I've had ever a million views on a single video. I think I'm getting close. Some of my older videos getting there. Anyways, coming back around Romantic, now with those mortar teams able to actually dish out damage to those buildings and force an engagement here. Water Elementals, and our front line is actually missing quite a bit, though, as Starshaped is going to try and take this down here. All right, are we going to see a Flame Strike here? No, well, there's that Flame Strike finally coming in, as the Bears are trying to pass through there. All right, Raging Bear able to get in quite a bit of damage. Rifleman trying to engage back Sorceresses, and, well, trying to slow down the Bears as the mortar team taking down many of those Dryads in that backfield. All right, trying to continue to retreat back here. More Siphon mana, but there's just not that much of a front line, as the Bears are able to get to those Riflemen far too quickly. A Blood Mage needs to get down some more Flame Strike. Another Flame Strike right here could potentially be a problem, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal back instead, as well as a Staff of Preservation at the last possible moment saves an extremely low hit point Bear. I hope you get a billion views on both. Yeah, me too. Also for the rejuvenation of WarCraft 3, right? If I get a billion views on YouTube, that would most likely mean WarCraft 3 is going strong, and more people are introduced to this classic but great game with so much depth and strategy coming back across here. All right, easy purge onto a Water Elemental Archmage sitting at level 4, nearing level 5. Blood Mage sitting at level 3 and getting closer to level 4, as Romantic just trying to regroup himself right there. Meanwhile, we're looking at Starshaped perhaps going to try and clear out this Fountain of Health, not knowing that Romantic actually has a scout right here to keep track of all of these units. Flying Machine keeping track of things here, as we are looking at Orb of Venom now on the Naga Sea Witch for a little bit of damage over time. Units making their way down. Starshaped quickly realizes Romantic does not have that expansion up and running. All right, more engagements here. Red Drake, more of these units could easily be taken down, as the rest of the units are finally being called over. Red Drake taking a little bit of orb of damage over time. 1 or 2 more shots should do it, as the Naga Sea Witch finally gets up to level 4. Beastmaster is sitting at level 5, does have that level 3 bear that can cause so many problems, as I believe items were dropped. Wait, where? Oh, right there, Scourge Bone Chimes, and that might be the item that Starshaped needed, as those bears are now going to be able to regenerate hit points per attack, a 15% heal per attack, and that does scale if they're dealing more damage to the riflemen because of their armor type. All right, That is going to be some big damage. Indeed, normal damage does extra damage against medium armor. Should be able to push in extra here and reduce damage to 4. Reduce damage to fortified armor. All right. All right. Coming back through. Mortar teams purposely trying to clear things up here, open things up on the sky. A flying machine extremely low on hit points, perhaps going to get repaired here as the Beastmaster trying to line things up momentarily. 70 supply compared to 64. Starshaped does have level 5, level 4 compared to a level 4, level 3. But what is going to end up going down? All right, trying to clean up any of these easy buildings. Daughter behind you. Yep. Daughter is behind me as the Blood Mage is just constantly finding targets to try and siphon mana from. Dryads, bears. Oh my, Naga Sea Witch gonna try and push and put pressure down to the south. Mortar teams 2-1 upgrades against Starshaped. No upgrades on the bears or dryads whatsoever. All right, main gold mines only have about a little bit more than 3 minutes of mining left. And then what you see is what you get in terms of their gold and being able to summon up anything here. Spear Bear quickly trying to blink away as we could be going into an engagement. The mortar team's really looking to put pressure onto those dryads and finish things off. I got a full audience behind me. Two of my 3 daughters currently sitting behind me as the, well, flying machine now heading back off to the north here. All right, Dryad's going to engage, clean up this remainder of this creep camp, and they'll perhaps try and use this opportunity to heal at the at this fountain of health. Still a bit of scouting coming across from this flying machine here as Starshaped gonna nearly be full hit point on this army. Only 1 Dryad slightly in the yellow. 77 supply. What is Starshaped waiting for? He is getting some upgrades now. Strength of the Wild and reinforced hides for those bears and those dryads to deal with the 2-1 upgrades of the riflemen and the mortar teams. 2-2 upgrades are not underway. Crota with the cast. This QC Jester, good morning. And Romantic just waiting. Actually just waiting for Starshaped to walk into him here. This is a little bit of a strange situation. On top of that, we do not see Nature's Blessing. So Starshaped, if he wants to move this Tree of Eternity over, will take a little bit of additional time. Also, we're looking at Starshaped finding trying to find the last remainder of these creep camps all across the map, as Starshaped does have a mountain giant ready to join in on the fight as well. All right. Blood Mage, Archmage getting ready into position here. Both sides trying to line up properly. Romantic doing a great job keeping these flying machines above the forest line, above the tree line, making them difficult to spot. And, well, having that observer there keeping track of the Night Elf army without being spotted is a great deal of an advantage. All right, Spirit Bear really wants to blink back onto all of those units here. Druid of the Claw getting staff to teleportation back home as this Spirit Bear absorbing a little bit of damage, now trying to hide. No control magic as the Spellbreakers now make their way back off to the north here. All right, Beastmaster trying to regroup with all of these units once again. Low hit point is slowed. Bears in that backfield going to be forced to go into an engagement. There is Blizzard now, so it could be Blizzard and Flame Strike through the fire and flames on that entire front line as the Bears are getting taken down slowly but surely. Low hit point Druid of the Claw. Big volley of mortar attack there as the Naga Sea Witch gets taken down, and also taking down some Dryads. More rejuvenation is going to be in order as the Druid of the Claw does get a rejuvenation off here, trying to fight with the back to the Fountain of Health. Romantic, 59 supply compared to 67. Starshaped is going to be a little bit of trouble as the Spirit Bear able to try to get into that backside position, but so much damage onto so many bears as these bears are trying to heal back up. There goes another Dryad as well. 59 supply compared to 57 as the Beastmaster finally trying to go after that back line, but having a difficult time as the bear unable to finish off that last target again. All right, continuing to heal up at that Fountain of Health. Meanwhile, Beastmaster is just diving on in any way it can. Mountain Giant finally, well, using those hit points, able to absorb quite a bit of damage as we're still looking at all of these units getting into position. Low hit point, Druid of the Claw not close enough to the Scroll of Town portal and could end up getting taken down. that little bit of endurance aura making a big difference as the army was constantly able to catch up to the Druid of the Claws, enabling them to get that slow off as well. Romantic now taking the supply lead as the Starshapes, Tree of Eternity without Nature's Blessing, gonna have a very long walk trying to get into position to set up a new gold mine. Druids of the Claw making their way back down here. Mortar team still shocking and awing the Night Elf army with so much damage and going to take down Walt slowly but surely. It looks like Romantic has Starshaped up against the ropes and still beating on everything quite regularly and easily as we are looking at more Flame Strikes and Blizzard, well, causing problems across this entire front line. The Mountain Giants are a bit magic resistance, but it has been the Bears that have been constantly taken down. You can see another, Bear Staff of Preservation saved at the last possible moment once more, but the Mountain Giants are absorbing damage. But the mortar teams can't really finish them off easily either. Riflemen continuing to fight their way through. Mountain Giants trying to back away. Naga Sea Witch back out here onto the battlefield with Orb of Venom. Siphon Mana coming back across. No Fork Lightning to try and, drain the rest of that mana away as the Archmage still able to get down more and more Blizzards. Another round of Blizzard Flame Strike could be coming through. Bears trying to, shake that damage off, trying to not stand too long in that Flame Strike zone as the Naga Sea Witch, got a bunch of mana only to see it siphoned away once again. Druid of the Claw trying to get into more rejuvenations, but this is a long, drawn-out fight here. In comes another Flame Strike. Beastmaster taking quite a bit of damage. Mountain Giant could be taking a lot of damage. He could get taken down, giving a double level up to Romantic, and that should be the game. Level 6 Archmage, unless we get a lucky bash here, that Archmage should not and be able to stay alive here, but the Spirit Bearer should be able to blink onto that target. This could actually go the other way if that Archmage, are we going to get a bash onto that Archmage? No, we are not, and the Archmage able to escape at 41 hit points. That Archmage escaping at 41 hit points. The Raging Spirit Bear, or the Spirit Bear, if it had gotten a bash, would have stopped the mass teleport. The Archmage would not have been able. Are we going to get a bit of damage there? There is, trying to add more damage. Potion of Healing was used in time. Naga Sea Witch now trying to back away as the Archmage is no longer in danger. 35 supply compared to 57. And so much damage dealt by Blizzard and Flame Strike, completely catching Starshaped off guard. There goes the Beastmaster, and that should now definitely be the game. Starshaped throws in the towel. A beautiful game here between Romantic and Starshaped. Romantic able to outlast his opponent on one base in this one base duel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.